Because I didn't look at those questions.
Well, welcome everyone. We are on another episode of Dishing with Diamonds. My name is Rainey Anderson, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I have the privilege and honor of having our guest Sheila Medina with us. Sheila is the very first diamond in Plexus. I call her the face of Plexus because she is the ambassador to all. And I am just so very grateful, Sheila, that you have decided to share some of your time with us today, that we can get to know you a little better.
Thank you so much, Rainey. It is just a pleasure to be on your call today. I'm really excited about it because I love sharing the history and growth of Plexus. And so I always like to say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is you're listening to this Zoom meeting. And my name is Sheila Medina, Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, a company that's all about health and happiness. And I just love saying that. I always have. It's changed a little bit through the years, but I've always loved introducing Plexus when I'm on any type of call. And so Rainey had asked me to share a few things with you this morning. And I thought we'd just kind of start out, we'll have a little bit of a conversation, but I'd love to just take you back a little bit and tell you about the beginnings of Plexus and a little bit about our history and growth, because it has been quite phenomenal. And thank goodness for people like Rainey and so many others that are taking Plexus to the next level. And so we just appreciate every single jewel we have, every single rank that's out there, because it takes a team to build a group and to build a Plexus following. It takes everybody. I always say there's no I in team, right? And so it really does take everyone. And I think, it was exciting being the first senior ruby and the first emerald and sapphire and diamond and all those things, but it really wasn't that much fun as people assume it is, because it's not fun being by yourself, no matter what position you are, and you can't get there without other positions being filled. And so I've always said, I want to take people with me. I don't ever want to be by myself on a stage or at a rank. I want others to come with me. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about how that all happened. So back in 2008, I was introduced to the breast check kit, and really thought I would use that product to promote my other business that I was doing. For those that don't know, I was in Mary Kay Cosmetics for 15 years. It was an amazing company, wonderful training, learned a lot. But even though I looked quite successful from the outside looking in, I really wasn't as successful as I thought I should be. And success means a lot of different things. It's not necessarily the money. It's not necessarily the title. Success means that, in my opinion, that you have reached some type of fulfillment, and whatever that might be. We always talk about people's potentials, and I always felt like that I should be doing something else that wasn't quite the right fit for me. And so little did I know that it was going to be Plexus. In fact, I had no idea it would ever be Plexus. And when I started with them, they had one non-consumable product. They weren't even sure how to sign a person up. And so it did take me several months to become a member with Plexus, to become an ambassador, because they were being purchased by Tarl Robinson. And so they were going through some changes and introducing a new comp plan, which is currently the comp plan we have today. And so it was just really odd that I would stick with them for 5 months before I officially became an ambassador, just checking back and forth and saying, hey, are you guys ready yet to sign up ambassadors? And we finally got me signed up, and really all I did was promote the breast kit, and it got me into health fairs and places that I really couldn't get into with just my other business. And so it was going pretty good, I thought. And they asked me to do a couple of calls for them because they really only had a handful of working ambassadors. And we started introducing other products. So we introduced the body cream shortly, I believe October, after I joined in September of 2008. And so that was the first non-consumable product, which you now know is the body cream. And so that was kind of fun because I thought, well, okay, 2 products, I can deal with that. And then the following year in 2009, I got a call from Tarl, and he asked me, he said, hey, as the top ambassador or the lead ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, we'd love for you to sample a new product. And I thought, how did I become a lead ambassador with this company? I haven't done really anything. I think I went silver, And I was like, how did that happen? And then I realized I had purchased 4 breast kits the previous month. And that's how I became the lead ambassador with Plexus. I mean, how simple is that, right? And so that's kind of how it happened. And I went from being just an ambassador to a lead ambassador. And here's what happened. They asked me to try this product. And little did I know that this product was going to change my life, because it really did. I tried Plexus Slim. I lost some, I was able to maintain my weight and cravings, and I slept better, and all those wonderful things you hear people talk about in their testimonials have happened to me as well. And so I was excited about a product that within a few months I could really see a difference. And so I started promoting the product, and then I had a friend who got very similar results, even better results than I did. And I realized, oh my goodness, what could happen if this worked for the masses? And in December of 2009, I made a very tough decision. And that decision was to step down from my other business and start doing Plexus, what I call full-time, which is basically part-time, right? And so on December 15th, 2009, I called the company and I said, look, I think I'm going to go full-time. Little did I know I was the first person to commit to going full-time, and Tarl was very excited because they felt like they had someone that could just start promoting the company on a more regular basis. And so, of course, I didn't do anything until January of 2010, but we worked that entire year, me and just a handful of people, that entire year collecting testimonies and just going anywhere that anyone would listen to us. So we went to health fairs, we went to faculty school meetings because Coach could get me in places. I talked about the breast kit, he talked about Plexus Slim, and we never sold anything. We never left our websites with anybody. We didn't do anything. We just said, you know, you guys know who we are. Look us up, find us, and we'll be happy to give you more information. What we found is people would follow us to our cars to get our business cards, or to get, we didn't really have a brochure. We just had a piece of paper with some information on it. So we'd hand them that piece of paper, but I think it's because we never sold anything. We just simply shared with them what the product had done for us and the possibilities of what it might could do for them. And so people just fell in love with that whole idea. And so that's kind of why we said we never really sold anything. We just shared the information. And I think that's still a good practice today, is to simply just share with people and just open up their minds a little bit about the possibilities of the product and the opportunity. And so in 2009, just before I went officially full-time, the company did $280,000 worth of revenue. Of course, this is very approximate numbers, so you can't go post it out on Facebook. But what was interesting is the following year in 2010, by that time, there was about 5 of us really working the business by the time 2010 ended, and we did a little less than $1 million. But here's what happens when you have a product that works and an opportunity that we knew eventually could be rewarding, because we certainly weren't making any income at that time. But what was interesting is the following year in 2011, we did over $10 million in revenue. I mean, if you think about going from 280,000 to 10 million in 2 years, it's pretty impressive. We're still talking about 3 products. Eventually in 2012, we brought in the Cleanse, and I believe at the end of 2011, the Cleanse and the ProBio. We were actually selling the Triplex, but we didn't have a cute name for it back then. We would just say, oh, if you're not getting the results you need on Plexus Slim, then you have a digestive issue and you need to try our Bio Cleanse and a probiotic. We didn't describe what it would do for them. We just told them, hey, here's what you need. If you want it to work, this is what you got to have. And so we sold them the Triplex without any fancy names. But what was interesting is in 2012, we did over $36 million worth of revenue. I mean, if you think about that, that is crazy, crazy business. And then, of course, in 2013, we had a huge influx of people. Social media became very relevant in our businesses. And all of a sudden, things really, really changed. And we went to doing from 36 million to 160 million. And then the following year in 2014, we were doing like 30 million a month. And then this past year, we've had a $50 million month. I think it's interesting that the Direct Sales Association ranks us number 27 in the United States. And I think it's number 46. It's 28 in the United States and 46 worldwide. And if you think about worldwide, that's just Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. We're not really worldwide, right? And so pretty interesting when Direct Selling Association ranks you. And then, of course, the Inc. 500. We've gotten to the 500 of listed of the top 5,000 companies, and two consecutive years. It's very, very impressive. Most companies are excited to fall into the hundreds the first couple of years and then into the thousands the following year, and we did number 8 and number 132. So what's happened to Plexus has been extraordinary, right? Our growth, 16,000% growth in 3 years. But I think what's even more extraordinary is the people that we have come into Plexus and their desire to help everyone else be successful, whether it's through the product or through the income or through the opportunity. And so we always say, you know, there's one thing to help someone become physically healthy, but you know, we can help people become financially healthy too. And that has a lot of different meanings for people. That doesn't necessarily mean tens of thousands. I always tell people, if you're looking for someone that you think an extra $10,000 a month could help them, you're looking for the wrong people. You need to be out there looking for people that a couple $100s could change everything for them. I tell a story about in our meetings when we first started having emeralds, people would come from everywhere if they were an emerald just to be able to say, I'm an emerald, you know, and they would go get up and we would talk about the amount of money they earned for the month. And I can remember a lady, back then they were saying, oh, $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month, whatever it was. And I had a lady stand up and said, I want to share my income testimony. And I thought, well, goodness, I think, you know, Carol's of gold, but okay. And so she stood up and she said she made an extra $286, something like that. And she said, and this is what I did with the money. She was a single mom. She worked for the school system, not a teacher. She worked in the office at the school. And she said, can you believe I put my son through football camp with that $280-something? And at the end of the football camp, he got a 4-year scholarship to a local college. That's something that she would have never dreamed possible for her son. But because that couple extra $100 came to such good use for her. So I really think we're missing the boat when we're not looking for people that could really, just a couple $100 could change everything for them. And so look for those people because they want a product that works, and then they will just simply share just a little bit to earn a little bit. And if those couple hundreds turn into something else for them, well, that's great because that means they're taking more people with them. You can only get to the top if you take a team with you. And so I can remember a very smart man telling me, if you want to become an emerald, then you need to find 5 people that want to move up with you. You need to find 5 people that want to go senior ruby. You need to find 3 or so of those 5 people that want to go emerald with you. So whatever position you want in Plexus, remember, you can't get there without a team. You have to help other people achieve their goals. And you have to help other people obtain the potential that they feel like that they can get. And of course, I always teach about the belief level. You've got to have belief in the product. You've got to have belief in our compensation plan. You have to have belief in network marketing, that knowing that's the best way to get the word out. And you got to have belief in yourself, right? And you got to have belief in Plexus Worldwide. You know, I know that sometimes we go through challenges, but here's the truth. If there was no challenges, there would be no growth. And so I welcome the challenges. I accept them, knowing that's just a part of the plan if we want true growth in our company. We don't want to be a company that just, oh yeah, they had that one-time growth and that's it. We want continuous growth. Of course, there'll always be tips of momentum, but it's not how you work your business when the momentum is high. It's how you work your business when the momentum is stable. And that makes the difference in a true leader, in my opinion, is working the business when you're in high momentum and when you're not in full momentum. And it's figuring out, how do I work the business when I feel like that my team's not growing? Because what you do today may not come into fruition until 6 months down the road or 3 months down the road or whenever it does. But if you don't keep working it on a daily basis, then you can't expect anything to happen with your team. It's up to you, right? And so I do teach the perfect 10. I think you should always be out, whatever that is, by email, by text, social media, one-on-one. There's many, many ways to work your business. But you need to be contacting 3 people and sharing the opportunity, sharing the product, sharing with your team, and then, of course, engaging in one thing a week. Like Rainey has this Zoom meeting. You need to engage in something that is about Plexus so that you're on the same track with your team members and your upline all the time. So you're just so fortunate to have an amazing person like Rainey as a diamond and your upline, because she certainly knows how to build a team and she can help you feel your potential as well.
You are so awesome. What I have to say is so Sheila and I have had many opportunities to visit, and every single time I get an opportunity to glean some wisdom from her, that's exactly what happens. And I love the grassroots efforts. Really, don't you feel like that's where we started, was when you all started promoting Plexus? It was really more of a grassroots effort versus, having all the social media at our tips, and you guys have been great doing that too. But in the beginning, you got in front of people.
It was I call it the pioneering.
Yeah.
I mean, because we had, there was no reason for someone to believe us on social media because there was nothing to back us up, right? Mm-hmm. So I think social media came in right at the right time. There was already things happening, right? We were already moving up, but it was the testimonials. And I know sometimes it's challenging to get the testimonials out there, but I believe there's a way to work around that. Those shareables that we have in the back office now are amazing. The clinical trials are amazing. What I am so excited about Plexus right now is that we are putting people into places, into job descriptions at corporate that know exactly what to do. And I think in 2017, you're going to start seeing some of that. Most of these people joined us within the last year. They've just been getting their footing. I feel like they're the pioneers of corporate, and they're going to take us to the next level. All I can say is, are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you working your business on a daily basis to be prepared? And trust me, I am not one of those people. I don't believe you work 7 days a week, and I don't believe that you should work 24 hours a day. Who wants to do what you're doing if you work Plexus all the time? I think it's so important to share the downtime with your following or social media or one-on-one, and make sure that people know that you don't work Plexus 24/7. That's not what we're about. We're about time freedom. I said there's 3 things about network marketing. One is the income. You get into network marketing because you think, wow, the financial opportunity is amazing. And it is. It really is. And then you realize, wait a minute, the time freedom. Oh my gosh, I love the time freedom. And then when it's all said and done, you're going to realize that it's about all the lives you changed along the way. That really is what sets us apart, is the lives that we change along the way. And I believe that your check is simply a reflection of how many people's lives you're changing along the way. So I believe there's different categories of pioneers. I believe that the pioneers, when I started, was great. We really did have a huge task in front of us to get this product out to the masses, right? And I can remember when I became a Diamond Ambassador in 2013 and being on stage, but being the only one on stage was not fun. Not to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to be the only diamond on stage. What is that saying, right? It's saying that it's only for the few. No, it's for the masses if you want it. So I can remember putting that challenge out there. I don't ever want to be on stage again by myself. And the following year, there was like 32. And then we just celebrated our first 100 diamonds. Are you kidding me? That's like crazy. Most companies don't have 100 plus people at the top. It just does not normally happen. And so it's just exciting. But what's even more exciting is the amount of checks that we send out monthly to all the other ranks. We probably have a higher percentage of monthly checks that go out to people, those couple of $100 that's changing people's lives. And that's what I'm more excited about. And I believe that, so I'm bringing all that back around to say that there's different times of pioneering. I think we're at the pioneering stage again. We're at the pioneering stage where we're still small enough, because any really given month, we have about 250,000 active ambassadors. In my other business, they had 3 million just in the United States. So I think we're at another pioneering mark. It's a time to take our company to the next level. So corporate's doing what they need to do on their end by putting people in job descriptions that are most fitting and that will take us to the next level. And now it's our turn to pioneer again. And that means everyone that's in Plexus now, it's time to pioneer again and take us to the next level. And that's going to take everyone, not just a few can't do that this time around. It's going to take the masses. And so I'm so happy that you're a part of Plexus right now, because I believe it's time to pioneer again. So put your bootstraps on, put your fingers on the keypads, whatever it is you want to do. Meet people one-on-one or social media or a little bit of all. I think the most rounded leader is someone that can do it all those ways. That it's okay that when you're out and about, you find someone to talk about the Plexus business or opportunity without even mentioning Plexus, right? Or on social media or through email or at family functions, whatever the case may be. Please don't throw up Plexus on people, because they will turn away. And I think a lot of times it's the way you act when you're not representing Plexus that people will be drawn to you. So just know that be the best you can be all the time, because people are watching.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that, it's about being well-rounded. It's not utilizing one resource to grow your business. It's being comfortable in public. It's being comfortable utilizing social media, but finding what works for you, because what works for one person may not work for another person. And what did they say? There's more than one way to skin a cat, although I've never done that before. But it sounded like a good phrase until it came out of my mouth. So you have been in this business for quite a while, and you've been part of direct sales for quite a while. So I know that there have been times in your career where, like you said, there's the ups and the downs. How do you stay motivated? What is it that continues to inspire you to stay in this industry?
It's interesting because when I was in my other business, direct sales, it was totally different. And Plexus is so different than what my other business was, but yet in reality, it's kind of the same. It's still a people business. And I guess what keeps me motivated is thinking that there is still someone out there hoping and praying and going to bed every night, hoping and praying for an opportunity. And if we keep this thing a secret, then shame on us. And so I go to bed at night thinking, oh my gosh, I wonder if there's someone I could have shared with today and I didn't, that I let an opportunity pass me by, and it's what they went to bed hoping and praying for. And so I guess what keeps me motivated is knowing that there's still people out there looking for us. And that's what I say to myself. There's someone looking for me today. Have I put myself in their path? Or am I working up to putting myself in their path? Because I would never want to deny that person the opportunity of being more healthy, whether it's physically, financially, or both. And so when I lay my head down on the pillow did I miss an opportunity to share with someone today that really, really, really could use what we have? And that's what keeps me motivated, is thinking there's people every day that wished and prayed. And, they say that more people go to bed at night worried about their finances than their health. But I believe that both of them are very, very important. And we have the key to both of those things. And so if we don't share it, then shame on us. So I talked about in the beginning how when I came to realize what a huge opportunity we have is when we first started talking about testimonies. My mom was taking her Plexus consistently, and she lost some weight, and we had to go buy her some new clothes. She loves to go to the beauty shop and to church, to Sunday school. And so I was saying, Mom, I'm so kind of disappointed because I haven't heard from any of your Sunday school girlfriends about how good you look. And I'm surprised they haven't asked you to get in touch with me so I can get them some product. And she said, oh, Sheila, I'm not telling anybody what I'm doing. I don't want them to know how easy it was for me to look this good, right? And this is someone in their 70s and 80s. She's in her 80s now. And I'm thinking, oh, my goodness, my mother's keeping it a secret. She wants them to think she's doing this really hard, strenuous diet and exercise and all of this. And it was simply her drinking her drink on a consistent basis. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I'm doing the same thing. I wonder if I'm keeping this opportunity a secret. And that's when I kind of came to the realization that, oh my goodness, we really could keep it a secret, and shame on us, right? And so I don't ever want to keep this business opportunity or the product opportunity a secret.
Absolutely. And, I love, how that basically you were saying, asking God to help you keep your eyes and ears open for those people who, because I think a lot of times we get just into our own errands, especially at this time of the year when we're hustling and bustling for the holiday season. And then here we are, might have passed somebody up that desperately needed what we have. And so, like you said, to get outside of our own four walls and be that ripple effect in the world, because we know what we have is not just good, it's amazing, it's incredible. It truly is life-changing. And I have to tell you, Sheila, I went to one of my first opportunity meetings as a senior gold ambassador. And I remember our tour at the time was called, Opportunity of a Lifetime. And I still think it's called that, right? Yes. And I thought, even as a senior gold ambassador, I didn't quite get that it was the opportunity of a lifetime. So I'm like, really? I mean, are we really saying that about ourselves? But I'm here to say it could not be more true. I feel like there needs to be a bigger phrase for it, for the way Plexus has afforded so many families opportunities, whether that's to get their health in order. And let's face it, if we don't have our health in order, we have nothing. Exactly. I mean, I know very wealthy people that don't have their health, and it doesn't matter how many riches you have if you don't have your health. So we're starting there. And I love being a part of this company, and talking to you just is a reminder and a refire of that for sure. Do you have a motivational phrase that you say to yourself, or like a Bible verse, or any phrase that just comes to mind?
Well, it's kind of a very simple one, and it's almost kind of one of those silly ones to me, but it does keep me going. And I keep saying to myself, well, if you think you can, but if you think you can't, you're right. And I just say that to myself all the time, because you know what? It is all between here. It's my belief levels. And so I'm just such a firm believer on the belief of what this product and the opportunity can do for people, that I just have to say that to myself sometimes. Well, Sheila, you're right. If you don't talk to her, she won't know anything about it, or he won't know anything about it. But if you do, then at least you've done your part. Mm-hmm. And let God do his part. And hopefully it will come together to be the right thing for that person. I truly believe that this might not be for every single person, but I believe that every single person needs the opportunity to make that decision on their own, right? Perfect. We can't force them to. I don't want to drag anybody with me. They need to go willingly. I need people that want to help others. And it can't be about you. If it is, then you've really misunderstood what we're all about.
I've had people leave this business. They've joined the business because they love the products. They love the hope and the possibilities that come with the opportunity. But then those same people that joined because of what they would be able to change in the world, they leave because all of a sudden the journey becomes about them. I haven't ranked fast enough. I've had so many no's. And, I'm that person that loves you so much, I'll speak the truth to you. And I've said to them, did this journey become about you? Because I remember when you joined, it was about, you can help your mom, you can help your dad, you could help Johnny and Sue through their extracurricular activities. And now all of a sudden it's become about, what either precious jewel title you have or not, and that's so sad.
It's, it is sad, because here's what I'll tell you about that. I don't know when it became a race, right? I mean, when did your journey become a race? It's kind of like, how can people relate to you if you're not a person of character? And I believe sometimes, I have a jewel that it took them 5 years to get to jewel. Okay. She said it's Senior Ruby for 3.5 years. And let me tell you, she has changed many a life. Okay. And I think she was meant to be exactly where she was for those 3.5 years, because emerald to her is very precious. And now she understands that some people will get there quicker, some people will get there slower, but man, can people relate to her journey. If everybody got to wherever it was they wanted to be in this business in such a very short, tight time frame, and then someone comes along that's not how they're going to do it, then how can we relate to those people? And so I think there needs to be numerous of different journeys, whether it takes you short, long, forever. I love when people ask me, how long did it take you to get to diamond? My answer is always the longest, right? Because we didn't know if it was going to happen. There was not even a sapphire position when I became an emerald. Okay. So I always tell people it took me the longest. It's never about how long it took you to get anywhere. In fact, I don't even like answering those questions, because it's not about how long did it take me to get there. You should be asking me, oh my goodness, are you excited about all the lives you're changing along the way? Yes. Are you kidding me? I'm more excited about that than a rank, because a rank is just a name. That doesn't make you who you are. It doesn't mean that the most amazing person out there might be sitting there as a silver, right? Because we don't know the people's potentials. And I just don't think this is a race. I think it's your journey. Enjoy your journey so that you can tell others about it. And when a person comes along that can relate to your journey, then it will be even more exciting, because you can really know how to coach that person, that team person, to the next level. And it might not be about how quickly they get there, but about how many lives they change along the way.
I love that. And, I agree with you. And I appreciate how you said, when did this become a race? Because, I agree with you. It's not a race, and it's not and I can speak to this from having done having ranked to diamond in fairly what I would consider a shorter order. And here's what I know about that is I didn't know any differently. I believe God had me exactly where I needed to be in life to fulfill some things that needed to happen for us, just to be stable financially. But my second position has not gone nearly as fast or smoothly. And you know what? I have appreciated each of those ranks way more because they weren't just on top of each other. I'm grateful for the first journey because honestly, Sadie and I needed it. We needed it to look like that. And I'm so grateful to God that he allowed that to happen for us in that manner. But the second leg, not as quick at all. But when I hit gold on that second position, it was like I hit quadruple platinum, diamond, whatever. We celebrated that one hard in our family. So it has been fun to, and also to relate to my team members that struggle a little, because on that position, it has not been as easy. So yeah. I get that for sure.
Same here. When I became a senior Ruby in my second second time around, second position, you should call it. Yeah. It was interesting because they put my photo up and I was like, oh my gosh, take it down. People think I've lost rank. I was getting all these calls about, oh, you've lost rank. You're in the senior Ruby category now. That's back when they had our pictures on the front page. And so I was like, oh my gosh, take it down. I don't want anyone to know. Right. And then I found myself like, you know what? Sometimes you need to stay in your lane. And I found that I needed to get back into work the first position because that will be the position that will always, I think, be the most important position. And so I've just kind of thought, you know what, that I want to let that one happen organically and just really focus on my first position because I have so many people that have been on this journey with me and I don't want to leave anybody behind. I want to make sure that everybody enjoys their journey. And like I said, it's not about the rank, it's about the journey. And I just think that we have an opportunity to do such amazing things. And truthfully, going up in rank just means that you can give back more. To me, that just means that I can give back more and enjoy the journey because there will come a time when giving back is a lot more important than what you're making. And when you get to that part of your journey, it is so fulfilling that it really is about helping everyone and not paying attention to so much about your rank anymore, first position, second position, whatever it wants to be. Everybody has their own journey and everybody looks at things differently. And just because someone else did it a certain way doesn't mean you have to, because your journey is important and it's yours. It's no one else's but yours. Own it, live it, enjoy it, and so that other people can aspire to be in that same type of journey.
I feel like I'm at church Medina. I love it. Like I've gone to church today. So I have a couple more questions for you. And one of those being, and this is just to give our teens an idea of what a journey looks like several years. How many years has this journey been for you? Did you say?
Let's see. I can remember they came to my town and celebrated Ruby back in 2000. I became a senior Ruby in 2010.
Okay. So we're at least 7-8 years into.
Yeah. Full time 6 years.
Okay. So let's use that number, 6 years full time. How many people have you personally sponsored in this, if you know, because I know that's crazy. Like, I'm not a numbers person, so when people ask me, I'm like, well, about, but how, and then do you know how many level ones you still have, like, kind of running with you today, like people that you still active?
I have a lot of people that are not necessarily ranking, but have stayed with me through the journey, and that's probably close to 100. Okay. I would say that have stayed with me that maybe don't even rank, and maybe aren't even consistent on a monthly basis, but they're still there. Yep. You just want to be a part of something, and I think that's just as important too. I think you'll always have those people. I don't think you look at your journey and think about, how many people became a jewel. That does not define me. So I'm more about how many people are still working on their journeys. And I still have so many people working on their journeys. And of course, I'm the queen of compression. So, so sometimes it is hard for me to look at numbers because they don't make a lot of sense.
Right.
My genealogy has been used for practice for lots of different back offices. I tell people this is not my first back office change. There'll be many more. This is like my third or fourth one. I don't know how many. So it's really hard for me to detect things, but I do know that I love compression because I get an opportunity to work with people that I may have not personally sponsored, but they are personally on the journey with me. And so it's interesting that I'm not really a numbers person either when it comes to that. I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, I'm not a numbers person either, and I've got this little dude here.
Hey, little dude.
Yeah, right. This is Hutch, otherwise known as White Devil. My team they know him well. He's in the background barking, so I've now picked him up to keep him calm, and so people can hear us. So I love the numbers there. I'm not a numbers person, but I want our team to hear this, that, that 6 years in to have 100 people with you. I mean, that's a doable thing, that's a realistic number. And I share that information because I want people to understand the possibility that this business is not built in grand slams. It's built in tiny hits after hit, right?
Yeah. I love it because sometimes I look at my team and I think, oh my goodness, there's only a small little group over here to work with because the rest of them are leaders in their own right and they don't really need me as much. And sometimes I'm by myself going, oh, wait a minute. They lead their own team. They lead their own team. They lead their own team. And sometimes I have to go looking to see who are those other people out there that I might could to be a benefit to. Right. And so I think it's very exciting to know that 6 years in, I can look out and go, oh my gosh, I have such an amazing team of leaders that I really can go back to helping the one-on-ones. And I can go back to personally sponsoring those people that think, oh, she doesn't need anybody on her team because she's a diamond, right? Well, the truth is now I feel like I have a better opportunity to go out there and look for those people because I have leaders doing their own thing and leading their own teams. And I really can go back to helping those people that I wanted to help from the very beginning.
Well, I think, isn't that what they say? If being a leader is creating more leaders. And so we kind of like being parents, right? We work our way out of a job.
Exactly.
Right.
That's kind of where I am at now. I think I have a grandchildren now and I'm thinking, well, you know what? I don't have someone that's staying home, but my 3-year-old grandson is going through potty training. He's a little stubborn. And so he really has a mind of his own about it. And so it's fun going through that journey with my daughter because she keeps me posted at every potty. I have to celebrate. So it's just like a team member. They call and, Theo went potty and I have to rah, woo, you're the big boy. And I have to, I'm on his team, his potty team. And so I think sometimes, it's kind of interesting because some of my folks out there need someone in their rah corner saying, you can do it. I have faith in you. You know what? You're not a baby anymore. You're a big boy and you got this, right? And so some of my members is, you know what? You got this. You can do it. It may not be perfect. You may wet your pants sometimes, right? You may have an accident. You may go backwards and that's okay. It just sets you up for a stronger comeback. I think it's okay if a rank comes and goes. You know what? We're not defined by our ranks. We're defined on how many people we change along our journey. I just, that seems to be my theme this morning, but I just feel very, very consumed by that. I'm just like, it's not about your rank. Please don't let this be about your rank. Please let it be about how many people you can help along the way. And then when you do get to the rank that you deserve to be or that you work for or the possibilities of, then you just get back and just get back into your heart's content.
Well, and I know you're speaking to so many. So, I love that that's your theme because it's valid. It's a huge reminder for people to hear this because it's really back to the basics of why we do what we do. And I believe what keeps us on track and really ultimately is what makes us successful. Okay, let's see here. Fun question. So being a diamond, it affords us freedoms. What is one fun thing you've done with your diamond income?
I guess the most fun thing, which will not really appeal to maybe the masses, but the fact that my husband, who has always been a major provider in our family, he's always worked at corporate jobs, 6 figures. I retired him years and years ahead of time. And I just think that's been so fun because, you know, when you get to a place in my life, it's not really fun just being at the house by myself, even though my kids are in and out all day long. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? He now has a lifestyle that he's enjoying. And he's a senior Ruby, and he's very happy there. And I think that's okay because he loves to golf, and he's my assistant. He helps me a lot. And so it's been fun retiring him and doing life together long before we had planned on it. And even though I don't feel like I'm living the retirement life, it kind of is because, I mean, Plexus sends us to Hawaii every year and we don't have to really pay for that. And so it's been fun doing things together. And so I think it's been very rewarding to retire him early. It's been very rewarding that my youngest daughter, who has a master's in therapy, she is a marriage and family therapist, had decided to do a little bit of career first and family second. And she is a Plexus ambassador too, but she is my assistant and I pay her very well, and she gets to stay home with her baby. And of course, we just found out that she was pregnant for the second time around. So we're really excited about that. But it's just been wonderful to be able to see that I can do things that I never dreamed I would be able to do for my family. And I think providing for my family outweighs some of the fun stuff, even though that is fun for me. That is fun for me to be at a position that I can do things for my family, even extended family, and then to know that Plexus rewards me for that. It's just been so fun. And so I tell people, we just recently moved to a new home after 24 years. We only moved down the block. We didn't move very far, but I lived in like a 3-story house on the water, and now I live across the street from the water in a single-story house. And it's actually easier for me. This house is more doable for me. And so people think, oh, you bought this new house. Well, actually, it's actually easier house than my other house was. But it's been fun, and I thought, my goodness, I wonder what my neighbors think. Here's 2 people with 2 Lexuses in their driveway, and they just moved into this little one cul-de-sac neighborhood, and I think, I wonder if they even know what I do for a living. So I need to go tell my neighbors. My neighbor that lives closest to me works for Homeland Security. Maybe I should tell them what I do so they don't think I'm doing something illegal. I'm home all day. Some days, you know, they don't even see me go out, and then when I do go out, they're like, where's she going? What is she doing, right? So
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are they doing? He's going golfing a couple times in a Lexus. What's that all about, right? So, so it's kind of interesting to think what people must think. But I think someone asked me, what's my ultimate goal? And I think my ultimate goal is to know that my community can come to me and depend on me if something were to come up in the community, that I'm not just the Plexus lady, but I'm the person in the community that people can rely on, because my business has given me extraordinary opportunities to help people in all kinds of different ways. So I think the fun thing about being a diamond is the other lives that I can change, not just the Plexus lives, but the other lives.
Absolutely. It's that ripple effect. You know, it's not just about your own 4 walls. It's about being able to impact truly the world when you think about it. And I do think that that's fun, Sheila, because in those freedoms of being able to take care of your family from a financial perspective, you're also freeing up being able to create memories, because finances aren't a worry, as and I don't want to paint that for diamonds, money's, because we have budgets.
Yes. You have to pay taxes.
We have to pay taxes.
Lots of taxes.
A lot of taxes. And But with that, what I love about it is being able to create those memories with my family, because of the financial freedoms that have been afforded. So last question for you, and this is for those that are registered for Super Saturday that may not have ever been before. Why Super Saturday? What are they going to gain out of this? And I'm going to go ahead and say it, amazing event.
Yes. Truly Super Saturday is the largest event that Plexus does all year long. The numbers outweigh convention, leadership, everything else. It's the largest amount of numbers of people. So here's what I'll tell you. January 7th is the jumping off point for you for 2017. And if you really want to be prosperous, whatever that looks like for you in your business, and you do want to reach the masses, and you do want to move up, and you do want to provide things for your family, and you want to do a better job in your Plexus business, then you need to be at Super Saturday. Because to me, you get a little head start on everyone else on what's coming. And there's going to be some exciting announcements on what's coming for 2017. Remember I said that I thought Plexus Corporate has put people in the right places, and that 2016 we've been kind of just sitting at a little bit of a simmer, and I think it's time to boil. And we're going to jump off in 2017, and you have to be there. You're going to get the most amazing announcements and upcoming tools and things that are going to happen for 2017 that you can put into practice right away because you heard it firsthand. And I think it's so important to be there, because the facilitator at the front of the room will be facilitating the information straight from corporate, right? Not from another Jewel or not from a Zoom meeting, straight from corporate. And you want to be in that audience, no matter what your rank is. You want to be in the audience from the very beginning. If you just signed your agreement to a diamond, you want to be in that audience because you want to be the one that hears it first and get all that excitement and build 2017 to be your best year ever, no matter what your rank is currently.
That is awesome. Plexus events never disappoint, and I assure you Super Saturday will fall in line with the rest of them, right? It'll be the best one yet.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I just tell you really what's about to happen, but I'm sworn to secrecy, so I can't let that out of the bag just yet, but just hear my heart when I tell you,
it's
work December. Don't let December pass you by, because I think that you're going to be out and about more. You're going to be around family more. And remember, it's not so much about throwing up Plexus on them, but just letting them know that you represent an amazing health and happiness company, because December can set you up for the amazing first half of next year, because January through June is our most productive months, in my opinion, in Plexus, and you want to be set up for that. So work your December and get ready to go to Super Saturday so that you're set.
Yay! You heard it here first. And I know that if you watched this call, which I sure hope you did, that you took away business tips, wisdom, history of Plexus, and motivation. And I know that you have gained a friend in Sheila Medina, so we're just so grateful for you for being with us, sharing your time with us today. You're all things amazing. I've just cherished you from the moment I've met you, and I appreciate you as my friend and as a mentor in this business. And again, your time is very much valued and appreciated.
Well, thank you so much. Have a happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.